march attracted more attention than the Million Man March in 1995. Everybody wondered what that would be like. 1 million men, African American men, on the Mall.
I'm here for the unity part of it, and I'm here because I'm a responsible black man.
It was organized by Minister Louis Farrakhan, who, as you know, was a very controversial figure at the time.
The minister wanted to talk to 1 million men, to talk to them about responsibility, accountability, family, holding their head up.
This is Africa, the cradle of mankind's birth, where powerful kingdoms arose with stories of worth. A youth-filled land, the youngest population, with diamonds and cocoa from its fertile foundation, exemplary leaders, their legacy told. Nkrumah, Mandela, their spirits bold. From Johnson Sirleaf's Liberia, where freedom lies, and her first female leader, so wise. Let courage and dreams unite as one for a brighter tomorrow where greatness is spun. In this beautiful, colorful, and friendly domain, greatness awaits, where hopes shall not wane, where tales of triumph weave a tapestry. Welcome to Today in African History.
Ayinde Jean-Baptiste was greeted with praise today at his public high school in Chicago. Jean-Baptiste is an honor roll student, but he also excels at something else, speaking. He not only attended yesterday's march,
Brother Ayinde.
At age 12, he was one of the youngest speakers who demanded that the men in the crowd fulfill their responsibilities.
When you stop making excuses, when you start standing with our mothers, when you start teaching us to be humane, then we can build a new nation of strong people.
Ayinde also believes he has a responsibility to his classmates.
It's supposed to be a day for black men to, reconcile with each other, stop the gang violence and whatnot. The message is so important that it needs, if they can't go to the message, then the message needs to be conveyed to them.
And you're the messenger.
In a way, I'm one of the many messengers.
And he's a natural at it.
Every now and then.
At age 4, Ayinde became a public speaker, reciting the words of great orators like Martin Luther King Jr.
That in spite of the difficulties and frustrations of the moment, I still have a dream. Go back and organize throughout this nation to bring about a better day for our people.
He became a part of history yesterday, addressing his largest audience ever.
That was one of the first times I've been nervous in a long time because it was just amazing. I just, again, had to do the best that I could, and I did.
One young black man and his mission to spread the message beyond the march.
On October 16th, 1995, so exactly 28 years ago, an estimated 850,000 African American men from across the United States gathered together at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to rally in one of the largest demonstrations in Washington, D.C.'s history. This assembly of black men was organized and hosted by the Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, who called for all able-bodied African American men to come to the nation's capital to address the ills of black communities and call for unity and revitalization of African American communities. Although the Million Man March was proposed and organized primarily by the leader of Islam, many religions, institutions, and community organizations across the spectrum of African America joined together, not only for a rally of black men, but also to build what many saw as a movement directed toward a future renaissance of the black race. Now guys, this was a very worthy cause that Louis Farrakhan organized 28 years ago. We as a black race, we as black men especially, we have to take responsibility for our actions. The time for blaming others for our plight is gone. That doesn't deny the fact that these things still happen, that there's still racism and all the isms that follow racism. How we are frustrated as black men all over the world, not just in the United States of America, by a system that wasn't designed with us in place, because we didn't design the system in most of the world today. So we need to take charge of our families, because that's where it all starts. Making sure that when we get into relationships, we get into relationships with the right woman, the woman who's going to build our family up, as we as men do what we're supposed to do as men, like managing our families, training our children to respect others, so that there's a knock-on effect, a positive knock-on effect on society. They don't end up getting involved in crime. They don't end up being incarcerated. A lot of the incarcerations, many of them, maybe not the fault of these black men, but a lot of them are also the fault of these black men. So we've gotten to that point now where we should stop blaming other people. We're not saying that other people are not responsible for some of the things that we go through as black men, but we need to take charge of our own future as black men, because there is going to be a knock-on effect on our communities first and then the wider community. The perception of the black man as being violent and aggressive, that needs to change, and that change can only start with you and with me. So what Louis Farrakhan did on this day 28 years ago was absolutely fantastic. It was a day of reflection, a day of brotherhood, a day of saying we need to take charge. We need to take back the respect that we've lost as black people, as black men, as leaders in our own families and leaders in our own communities. I'm going to play you the video, a clip of the video 28 years ago on this day. Watch it, guys. Check this out, guys.
But no 90s march attracted more
this was
attention than the Million Man March in 1995. Everybody
Listen to what she has to
wondered
say.
what that would be like. 1 million men, African American men, on the mall.
I'm here for the unity part of it, and I'm here because I'm a responsible black man.
It was organized by Minister Louis Farrakhan, who, as you know, was a very controversial figure at the time.
The minister wanted to talk to 1 million men, to talk to them about responsibility, accountability, family, holding their head up.
I convinced a few of my friends to go just to see what it would be like. Let's just drop this hard shell you built up and let's just be with each other, enjoy each other's company, meet other black men.
I remember that incredible feeling of brotherhood, and I never seen so many people in my life. I remember leaving there feeling like this was the start of something different.
People were so fearful that African American men were going to flood the nation's capital. Those kinds of attitudes somewhat overshadowed what in fact was a remarkable, peaceful, family-oriented march.
But still, there was controversy.
The debate was about numbers. Were there really 1 million? That was so unfortunate because that was not the point.
I think the Park Service suggested it was around 400,000, but it doesn't matter. It was a huge march.
So, gentlemen, I'm addressing you directly now. Has anything changed in America? Has anything changed in Europe? Has anything changed in Africa? Has anything changed in Asia, in South America, wherever black men are found? Has anything changed? Are our families stronger? Are our children stronger? Are our children more respectful? Are our children more ambitious? Has anything changed 28 years later? Do you think we need another 1 million man march? Is that the problem? Is it brotherhood? Is it solidarity? Is it responsibility as black men to lead our families and lead our children and lead society, lead our communities? I think that question lies with each and every one of us to answer. You watching this video may not have been born when this took place 28 years ago, but this did take place 28 years ago. And you who wasn't born at that time, you're probably thinking nothing has changed. In fact, things have gotten worse. Now, if you say things have gotten worse, I would tend to believe you. I'll tend to agree with you. The numbers are out there, the stats are out there. A record number of black American men incarcerated. And incarceration rates are the highest amongst black American men in the United States of America due to so many reasons: drugs, poor education, family background, being raised by a mother. Most American families have been raised by a single mother. The men are absent because they're incarcerated. These are the problems. But we've had very successful black men as well, billionaires, men who have led their families, have led their communities, are contributing positively to the society. But we need to do much better, and we can do much better. So my brothers and sisters, brothers especially, it's a day of reflection, a day to think about innovative ways of forging forward as black men. How do we impact our society positively? Listen to what the white guy said. 1 million men descended on Washington, D.C. And what was in the minds of most people? Violence. What did he say? It was a peaceful protest. Why did he bring out the word peace? Because the assumption wasn't of peace. Black men gathering together. No one thinks any good will come out of it. But good did come out of it on this day, 28 years ago. So we need to put things into practice. The things that were talked about on this day 28 years ago by Minister Louis Farrakhan, these things should be taken to action, should be taken seriously, should be put into practice so that we can help our families, we can save our families, save our children, save our wives and mothers and sisters, and point those who are lost in the right direction. So guys, that's it for today. There isn't much to say. I think it's a day of reflection. It's not a day of beating our chests in pride and saying that this is what we've achieved. We have achieved a lot as black men, but we can do a lot more. Thanks for joining us for today's edition of Today in African History. I thought I'll do something a bit different today. This is the Today in African History channel. I'm a black man, and I want us as black men to do well. Not just for ourselves, not just for our families, but for our communities as well. Thanks for dropping by. If you are here for the first time and you like what we're sharing here, do subscribe to the channel. It will help us grow and attract more like-minded people. If you've been here before and you like what we're doing here, help our young fledgling channel grow by subscribing to the channel. Thanks for dropping by. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.